Okay, this is one of the, again, we've talked about a lot of really large trees that are native to central Kentucky. This is the Burr Oak. This is kind of the granddaddy of them all. These trees live to be 400 and 500 years old. We've got an acorn over here. It's a big acorn, and it's a frilly capped acorn. So this is how you know it's a Burr Oak, is when you've got an acorn that's large. And it's like the overcup oak, where the cap pretty much encompasses it, at least on the younger ones. When it gets a little bit bigger, that acorn will actually be sticking out from underneath that frilly cap. But those will get to be about that big. I mean, it's a large acorn. And it has, this is part of the white oak family. You see how it's got the rounded leaves on it? So it's different than the red oak that we were looking at earlier. But it is a massive tree, obviously. This one's been here for at least probably 300 years, I would say. It's a great tree. They need to be preserved wherever you encounter them. That's why roads are built around them. There's a good example of where an entire building was built around one of these over on the St. Joe Hospital campus on Harrodsburg Road. If you go over to the office park, there's a parking garage that was built around a 200 plus Burr Oak. And you can drive up there. I used to drive around and just go and see how it was doing. It's still been there. It's been in that situation with the parking garage around it for about 20 years. It's not happy, but it's still alive. But you can kind of drive up and be in the branches, which is kind of a cool feeling. And that's an example of where a whole building was built around one tree. Native to more of a lowland area or a grassland area. Great if you have a large yard or a large property or a farm. So we encourage people to grow them. This is a tree that does have a tap root, so it is hard to transplant as a large tree. So it's best to transplant these as a young tree or to start them from acorns. It'll be a long time before you're sitting under the shade of one. But again, like we said earlier, oak trees do grow fairly quickly, but not to this size. It takes several hundred years to get this size. But again, very important tree for central Kentucky, and you'll see a lot of them as you drive out away from town. There's a lot of these that have been incorporated into suburban developments too, because that was one tree that people did try to protect, along with some of the chinkapin oaks and the blue ash. So if you see a big tree, it's probably one of those three: a chinkapin oak, a Burr Oak, or a blue ash. Those are the three oldest trees in our particular area. So be on the lookout for those and protect them wherever you can, and plant them when you have the opportunity.